The next level. April 2016. Beloved one, now we will speak about where you are and where you are going. In one of our previous sessions, we spoke about the light. We spoke about how there is now in the world a seeming darkness and how the world seems to be getting darker, how the events and what you have in the various political groupings seems to be so heavy and so dichotomized, separated, split apart into a warring atmosphere with each other, some being very much of the light, wanting to move forward in the light, and others wanting to hold the status quo and keep where it has always been, or perhaps even to take it a bit backwards into past history. We spoke about how there seems to be a lot of darkness, and yet we spoke that truly the reason why it is looking dark is because there is more light shining upon it, bringing out the dark corners and showing up the dark corners, whereas before when things were all of a neutral gray color, the light was not as great as it is now, and you were not seeing such a contrast. So what is happening is all in perfect divine order, as you have decreed, to bring forth the light that you are, and to shine it into all of the dark places seemingly outside of you and within as well. Because there are places within you that are still holding fear, still holding the feeling of, what if? That is why I often tell you that you are safe, because truly there is a small piece still within the psyche that says there could be something that would hurt me, harm me, not only the body, yes, the body seems to be vulnerable, but also even the spirit of me. I'm not quite sure. Now I am again saying to you that truly you are safe, and you are bringing forth more and more light into this plane that has for a long, long time forgotten its origin, has forgotten the light from whence all creation has come. So that little piece of fear which resides deep within is coming up to be looked at, to be examined, to be felt, and to be understood that truly it is an old fear. It has come about as there was attachment to the form, to the body, or whatever form that you were choosing to be, because, again, as we have spoken many times, you have played with all different kinds of forms. You have been the whales, the dolphins, the birds. You have been everything that you can imagine and even more. You wanted to know, how would it feel to be the creation that I have just made? So you spent what you would call now lifetimes, being whatever you had created in order to experience everything that you could create. Out of that has come the feeling of separation, separate from your source, separate from that energy which creates. And yet you are the extension of the one mind, the extension of the one creator. Not even as you would speak of being the child of Father, Mother, God, Goddess, all that is, but the extension, not separate as you think of the child being separate from the parent or the one who gives birth. You are the extension, come here to once again create and experience. What is happening now is a most wonderful fulfillment of a decree that you made a long time ago, as you measure linear time, that said, I want to experience everything. I want to know the light. I want to know the darkness, I want to know the shadows, I want to know everything that I can create, and I want to call it good, as you have written in your holy writings. The gods, which is you, created everything, or as your holy Bible says, God, and called it good. And it is. It serves the divine purpose of the one creator wanting to know, what can I create? So given the unlimitedness of you, being the creative one, you have created everything, everything from the place where you knew that you were totally loved and safe, to the place where you knew that you were not totally loved and safe, and everything in between. That is your power, and that is what I want to speak about now, moving to the next level of understanding your power, understanding that truly the light now is shining on all of the dark corners, all of the dark places, and showing them up to be just that, darkness which then dissipates when the light is shone upon it. So you go forward. You interact with the brothers and sisters. Sometimes it feels good, sometimes it feels questionable, sometimes it feels downright like you want to get out of that space. That is okay, because what you are doing is neutralizing everything with your light, bringing it to the 0 point of no fear, the 0 point of healing, where you look upon the bodies and see them to be perfect. You look upon the occupations that you are doing, and you see that they are places of experience where you can bring more light into whatever you are doing, whoever you are interacting with. Sometimes when it seems like things are the darkest and you do not like anyone, I don't like anyone, no one likes me, and you are in the place which feels very unloved, unloving, stop, take a deep breath and ask, how can I see this differently? You can, and you will, because you are beginning to realize you are the power which creates everything you see and feel. If you like joy in your life, if you like cake and ice cream in your life, who says you cannot have it? Only that old little voice in the back of your head from other lifetimes or perhaps earlier in this lifetime that says, well, maybe it's not really for you. Other people can have it, but you can't. But where does that voice come from? It comes from you as you are creating. It is an old thought, and it is no longer true. It never was true. So you are now at a very exciting place, because the door is opening, not only opening, but it is fully open, where you can come through it, where you can be who you truly are, and be happy with yourself. You can be in joy in what you really want to do, because that is what you are putting together now. You are taking hold of your life. You are taking hold of possibilities, and you are saying, where do I want to be in 25 years from now, and how would that person 25 years older speak to me as I see myself now? What would that person say to me? It opens up all kinds of possibilities. Even for ones who feel that they have lived the greater portion of the life and there may not be too much left of it, there is always life. You knew, in what seems to be a long time ago, how to live the 300, 400, 500 years, linear years like you measure them now. No, there was no magic that it was just a figment of collapsing time, but you actually did live that long, because you wanted to create some more, you wanted to know some more, and you knew it was possible, because you were the one creating. So you kept having experiences until finally you said, well, let's trade all this in and go somewhere else, perhaps another planet somewhere, perhaps another star system. Perhaps, and that perhaps is wide open. This is what you have done. So now you look at the age span and you say, well, ones are living longer now. This is true, but you can live even longer, as long as you want to. As long as you are having fun with it, if it is good and you are enjoying it, why trade it in? This is what you have known and what you have done. All power in heaven and on earth is given unto you. Now, if you take that to heart, that is a good place to take it, to the heart, not to the mind, because the mind is going to pick it apart, but take it to the heart, to the place of feeling, the place of power which knows that really truly you can do all of this and more. This is what I said unto you as my disciples. All that I have done, you may do, and even more. Some have actually understood that, and lived as masters for a long, long time, because they wanted to. All power is given unto you. The next level is realizing, making real in your awareness, your power, the power of the light which is dawning upon the consciousness, individually and collectively. There is more light now on this plane than there was 50 or even 10 years ago. Ones are becoming enlightened. More and more of your brothers and sisters are asking, why am I here? What is this all for? What is this about? There have been the ripples upon the pond. There has been an enlightenment which is moving very quickly through the collective consciousness, coming to the place where it is showing up the dark places, and coming to where the next level is knowing the light and coming alive in the light. That is where you have decreed you want to be, in light, alive, in joy, in a place that knows, I am okay. I am made of good stuff, and it doesn't matter what others might say. That does not matter. It does not touch you. You are in charge. So if you are looking to do something that seems really exciting, go for it. Sit with pencil and paper and work out what the steps are, and see what you need to be doing. Then go for it. Well, it's maybe a little too soon. I think there are other things that have to come into place first. Well, so be it. But if you say, I think I've waited long enough. I think perhaps I can go forward with some of this. Maybe it'll be a little bit strange, and I may have to put a few pieces together that seem a little bit different. then go for it. Go for that part. There is nothing that says you have to stay in the same rut, nothing. In fact, everything points to the fact that whatever your heart desires, not the mind, but the heart, you can have. You just set about doing what pleases you, not in a way that is harmful to another one, but in the way that allows more light to come into the collective consciousness, more light into your life, more joy. There is no one, no great referee up in the heavens somewhere, saying, "Oh, well, he didn't do that right. She's got to have 16 more lifetimes to make it right." The only referee is you. If you allow the mind to point out all of the difficulties, that is what you are going to be seeing. But if you say maybe at first, "Well, you know, this is really what I'd like to do. I'm going to go and do it even if the golden coins are not there for me," and then you prove yourself to be indispensable, the golden coins start to come in. You start to do what you appreciate doing, and as you do that, others may see your appreciation, and the golden coins come. You will always take this to heart. This is true, you will always be taken care of. You have my word on that. You will always be taken care of. Wherever you are, always. Even if you seem to be in a place as some of my brethren were, in a place that is called the dungeon, the prison where they were thrown into, a very small place, yet the spirit was free and did not stay in the dungeon. They knew themselves to be more than just the body, more than what was in prison, and they allowed the spirit of them to soar. You have the writings even in this day and time. So take heart. Know that truly you are moving to the next level. Know that truly the light is being ushered in at a great pace. Not a slow one anymore. What you would see as you measure the linear time of 200, 300, 500 years ago, there was even then an awakening. But now there is what I will call a full bloom blossoming of light. You find writings. You find voices. You find the messages coming from everywhere that speak of hope, that speak of light. More and more in every geopolitical grouping, there are ones living in the light and letting their light shine. There is no place on Holy Mother Earth that you can go where you will not find someone of like mind. Hear that well. You may have to let your light shine a little bit to attract the ones of like mind, but it is true. Anywhere you will travel on Holy Mother Earth in this day, you will find ones of the light. That was not so true in earlier times. They were of the light but did not realize it, because there was too much emphasis upon the body and keeping the body alive. The consciousness was narrowly focused. But now the blinders, the ones that had you looking in just a certain direction, are being taken off, so that you can see much more of the light that is out there. You are doing that for yourself. You are speaking, you are allowing other ones to know that there is hope. You are doing it with a certain opening of the soul, allowing the soul to flourish. Take heart. You are living in a very wondrous time. That is why you agreed to be here at this time. You have been here other times when there was a turning of the age, and that is what this is now. The next level is a turning back to the light, understanding the power of the light, and welcoming the dawn of a new age. So be it. Yeshua ben Joseph, Jesus. Channeled through Judith Coates. www.oakbridge.org